Okay, so it's been 16 hours and yeah, it's been 16 hours. I finally made it to my destination. I did drive. So the thing with transportation for this particular assignment, I had to weigh my pros and cons of, okay, maybe if I can rent a car. Okay, my budget did not fit a rental car at all. So I was like, okay, well, what other transportation can I use? And I'm like, it's no other way. I have to definitely drive my car. So what I did eventually was I got some maintenance done on my car, and I mean some heavy maintenance that cost me some money. And I got that done, and I took the risk, and I drove my car for 16 hours. And I truly did enjoy it because, you get to see the mountains, different areas. You can stop in places that you've never been before. And like I said, I solo travel a lot, so it's something that I can definitely just jot down in my notebook that I've been to this state before. So I think I passed through like Tennessee. I don't know. I really cannot name these states that I've been through. It was a fairly easy drive straight through. So what eventually happened was when I got to my destination, through Furnished Finders, I found a hotel. Like I said, I didn't really have a game plan on where I was going to stay, since I was not going to be staying with my last travel buddy that I've been with. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this by myself. So what I was going to do is, like I said before, I was just going to scope out some places. Now I did have an apartment that I had in mind through Furnished Finders that was a studio apartment, but that was going to be for 3 months. Now my contract is for 3 months, but I prefer a month to month. That way, it helps with like liability as far as cancellations, last minute. Because like I said, my last contract, I was only there for like a month and a half, and then I got canceled. So like, imagine if I got a place for 3 months and I put down a deposit. You have to risk losing out on that money that you were supposed to stay within that lease. So a month is very easy on 13-week assignments, but you have to really take the risk of losing money. So what I was going to do was I got a hotel, and on Furnished Finders, you can find hotels as well that will advertise their listings for nurse discounts. So I seen a couple of places like the Marriott's, Hilton's, Quality Inns and stuff like that. I mean, the rich to the ghetto. The rich to the ghetto. So I had to like scope out these places. I had to look at their reviews, and what I came for was the Hiltons, right? And so what I did was, not the Hiltons, I think it was the Holiday Inn, which was still good, right? And so when I get here, I talked to the lady, right, and on the phone while I'm like driving, I'm like, okay, what's the rate? And she like, oh, we can give it to you for like $55 a night, which is good. I was thinking about staying in an extended stay, and extended stay was actually $43 a night, but their reviews were bad. Like, oh no, they got roaches, they got bed bugs, or they got sticky carpets, and you can hear people outside shooting. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna pay that extra money so I can be safe and live comfortably. Like, I can't live like that. I'll pay the extra money. And so she was like, I could do $55 a night for you. So I pull up at Holiday Inn. Her workers at the front like, no, we don't got you in our system for the Holiday Inn. I'm like, what you mean? I just talked to the lady. I put my card information down. She said, no, they got you at Comfort Inn. I said, well, I talked to so-and-so, your sales manager. We negotiated and everything. She was like, yeah, they got you at the Comfort Inn, which is down the street. She worked for like several different hotels. I'm like, why would she put me in a Comfort Inn, right? So I drive down to Comfort Inn. I take to their people, and I'm like, can you call the lady? What's her name? I don't know, Dominique or something like that. Like, call the lady, because I said I wanted to be in the Holiday Inn, okay? Not the Comfort Inn. Comfort Inns, it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. And she was like, well, the only thing I could put you in is a Comfort Inn. I said, well, you're advertising for a Holiday Inn. You know that, right? Like, it's on here. You got your name, your number, and it says Holiday Inn with Holiday Inn pictures. Okay, not Comfort Inn. Not Comfort Inn, okay? So what's the deal? She was like, well, my apologies on that, but the only rate that we have for the Holiday Inn is $85 a night. And I'm like, I'm not about to pay $85 a night. This is nurse. Do you see this? I'm coming to save the day. Why would I pay $85 a night? And she was like, well, it's going to be either that or the Comfort Inn. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, why would you do that? I said, you know, I have to write a review about this. Like, as nurse to nurse, when you see something like that and it's some false advertisement type, write a review and tell them what it was. She was like, well, it was just a mix up, you know, they did some renovations, so they switched the Comfort Inn to the Holiday Inn. And that's why I said, well, you need to update your listing, because you got people driving all the way down here thinking they're going to stay in the Holiday Inn, and now we got to stay in the Comfort Inn. Nonetheless, the workers were very nice about the whole thing. It was just a sales manager that was just, she was being a little rude, okay? She's being a little rude, like, I'm in a good place to say. And so she was like, well, I'm not the sales manager, the people in the front was being nice to me. They was like, I'm sorry for the mix up and everything like that, but we'll give you the rate for $55 a night. You know, just get your things. We'll show you the room around, make sure that you like it. And the room is actually pretty nice. Like, I can feel comfortable in this room. And so they get me in there. I unpacked just a little bit, because what I eventually did was I found a studio apartment. Now, the studio apartment is for 3 months. So I talked to the man. I said, listen, you know I'm a nurse, right? There's a possibility of cancellations and everything like that. What can you do to work out with me? Can we do a month or something like that? Or maybe if something was to happen, can I lose out on some type of money? So he was like, here's the deal. We'll set a price for this per month that you pay. Then you give me a deposit for $500. Now, I need 3 months regardless, but if you were to get canceled in the middle of that contract, you give me a 2-week notice and you lose out on $500, which was better. It was better than $1,000, right? So I was like, okay, I can do that, because it was the only nicest studio apartment around this place, right? All the other apartments that I seen was raggedy, or they too high, or I was not willing to sublet in a house. I'm not willing to live with somebody in a house. That's just not my thing, okay? Because I know some nurses, you like to be in RVs and buses and all that type of stuff. That is an option for you guys. But for me, I need to be comfortable in my little humble abode. So I did a 3-month lease, and he renovated like his house. So it's like 2 apartments, one up top and one at the bottom. Looks pretty dope from what I've seen. So like I said, what I did was a week at this hotel. I'm going to meet up this weekend with him, look over the lease, look over the place before I sign anything, make sure that it's good, and then boom, I got the key, pay him my first month's rent, and it's just like that. Like, he's been doing it, he has good reviews, and then I'm going to show you a studio apartment tour. But nonetheless, like, things is going pretty well here. My new job is in family medicine, and like, as soon as my first day of work, like, as soon as I get in, they were very welcoming. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was, it felt like, you know, your people. When I got in there, like, it was work. I'm not even gonna tell you, my first day I did epic training, and I did that for like 9 hours. I took like an hour lunch break, 9 hours of epic training. I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't done epic in like 2 years. So that was a change. So, and then after the next day, I trained with another nurse. Majority of us are LPNs. We take between newborns and geriatric patients. We do, so we like take Medicare. We do the Medicare annual. We do physicals. What else do we do? Med checks. We do minor and major surgeries, mostly minor. So today, like, for instance, I had to do vitals. I had to go over a person's medications. We had to refill the medications. We had to make sure their insurance was up to date. We had to make sure they had all their vaccinations. And then after that's put in, we had to do a note. We had to make sure our notes was good. And then another, for instance, like, he had a toenail removal, right? So that is considered a minor surgery. So I did all of that. I got him checked in. We put him on like the little table, and we got like all the doctors, like, dressing gauze, you know, his kits ready and everything like that, gowned up. And what he did was he did his little incision, and he numbed him up with some lidocaine. And there's like certain ways that doctors like to do things, and they gave me like a sheet, because there's like, I don't know, there's like 10 doctors here, so I have to honestly learn each doctor's and their ways of doing things. And through Epic, like, they have certain codes that you need to notate on each person's account. So like, it gets pretty busy at this location. And if I'm not taking patients or helping out with the minor surgeries, then you're refilling the medication, then you're calling them, you're checking the emails. And then if you're not doing the visits, visits that seeing the people, then they'll like switch you to work on the phones. They said they're not going to do that to me since I'm a traveler. They really need me to get the patients in every single day, but they're on the phones, I guess, and taking inbound calls from people. So she told me, she was like, it's pretty hectic because since COVID, they're pretty backed up on patients, going through paperwork. So today, I didn't have to go to their meeting or nothing like that. When you travel, you don't have to go to their meetings, but I went to that meeting anyway. I like the people. They cool. Like, they're really cool. Excuse me. And she was talking about like, you know, we might need somebody to do 410s because, you know, we backed up. And she said I only have one person that might do it. I'm in the back like, listen, if y'all need 410s, I can do a 5 to 5. I can do a 6 to 6. I can do a 7 to 7. Like, I don't have to do this Monday through Friday stuff. Like, I really don't. Like, if you need me on 4 days so I can have my 3 days off and go do what I need to do, call me. I'll do it. She was like, oh, thank you so much. You know, I'll keep it in mind. So she told me, she was like, well, since you're here now, we're actually about to go get a new doctor, and the doctor is going to be here on August something. And she said, you're going to be mainly working with him. So right now, you're here to help out all the doctors that we have now, just like the filling what's needed. And then you're going to be working with him like one-to-one. So I was like, cool, don't worry about it. So she was like, actually, we about to get another traveler in a couple of weeks, I think on the 26th. So she's going to be training them. Then they have another part-time worker that they're getting. Then they got another phlebotomist that they're getting as well. So I was like, listen, is there going to be a need for me? She was like, yes, there's going to be a need for me. So you don't have to really worry about cancellations or nothing like that. Like, we would meet our goal in August. We'll need you till October. So I was like, cool, you know, like, they're very welcoming. Like, we can talk to each other. We can help each other out, you know. And I like it because, you know, instead of working nights, and like, nights for me is like an icing on the cake. Like, I just can't do it at this certain time right now because of my health. And this gives me enough time to get off work, go exercise, eat and everything, take naps. So that's why I actually took this contract, was just like to get up to speed, and it's a decent rate, you know. So nonetheless, it's good. I have no complaints right now. The doctors are pretty nice. The nurse practitioners are nice. So we're good. We're good. I don't think I have anything else to say right now. Please stay tuned for the videos. Give me some time to get adjusted into this new apartment, and then I'll give you a tour. But nonetheless, thank you so much. You guys definitely need to start commenting and subscribing. I will definitely start answering questions on other videos as well, because I'm starting to see that your questions are not getting answered, but YouTube is not letting me know that you guys are asking me questions. So I never know. So please don't like take offense to that. Like, I don't know sometimes who's asking these questions. I have to keep clicking on my videos and scrolling down, and I'm like, oh, somebody asked me a question like a month ago. Like, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna do a whole video on that. Please forgive me. If you want me some content that you want to show me that's not too invasive or anything like that, put it in the comments below, and so we could talk about it, or whatever that you need help on, okay? So again, if you want to talk to me or anything like that, the best way is to be IG DESHAYYYYYLA, the Shayla, and we could do it that way. So thank you so much, guys. You guys have a great day.